Hey guys, welcome to another monthly episode of the Monthly Reload podcast. A lot of work, a lot of uses of monthly there. Apologies, but today you have old me Trey and you have old Ray Blast, aka Braulio, here with us today. So the whole month of June has been very eventful, very eventful. A lot of politics. A lot of gaming news. Had E3 finally, in which we're ready to spill the beans. There's definitely been a lot of project works from Reload as well, so we'll actually go ahead and start with that first on this episode. So we basically have started getting past the pre-planning phases on some of the projects. We are also starting to have outside projects of Reload as well, but that's just basically going to be little hints in the future that we will be announcing eventually. It may be a month, it may be weeks, who knows? But I'll let Ray Blast basically give some insights of our interior projects, I should say, for Reload.
So, as I'm pretty sure I've been saying and like parroting these past couple of months, we've been finally, here at Reload, we're like a game development company in a way. And, we've been talking about we're planning, we gotta make sure everything goes well. Well, I guess I can finally say that things are finally moving. The clock is ticking and I can't wait to show you guys this. We currently have, I guess, per se, three projects. They're all in like different stages of development. We'll get talking to more about them and start showing them more about them here in the future. As you guys already know, Genesis, Nocturne, and then this little surprise project. I'm keeping on the wraps for just now, but I think it's gonna be something very fun, and I just can't wait for y'all to see this. But as you guys already know, Genesis is our little well, I guess I can't spell that just yet. I'll just let it know that the Genesis has a huge tie-in with like the main development that this team will be working on. Nocturne is really shaping up to be interesting. We're definitely working out the bugs in that and like definitely ironing it out before we go full dev mode. And this final project, it's definitely on par to be finished sometime soon. We're probably gonna drop a few little hints day or the following week or so. So make sure you guys keep a check on our socials, our personal Twitters, and yeah, and that's what we'll talk about it on
Def-
Discord and stuff.
It'll definitely be on Twitter. But yeah, of course. I'm mostly for the projects, and especially like projects are not like focused on game development and stuff because music, graphic designing, and everything has also been like a goal for us as well to start bringing for streamers and eventually. So that'll also start working with more of our exterior projects and hopefully and hopefully we start out offering more services to people out there as well other than just games and everything because we're gaining more knowledge every day. I'm learning a lot. I'm like learning game development, I'm learning graphic designing, I'm learning ethical hacking, I'm learning some stuff about information networking and just programming itself all at the same time. But you know you gotta start somewhere. And usually, like when it comes to stuff like this, the journey ain't easy, but everybody's journey is different. But eventually, I also had theories that, or not theories, but I had ideas. So potentially in the future, potentially Reload like could eventually start having this little educational department to help people learn like we learned, give our resources out and everything, help people basically achieve their goals and the dreams of want to do stuff but that's behind development programming and all of that. But reload so reload has started only just January 1st pretty much, but we are still racking up a lot of projects and we will be continuously working on them. you know some of our projects, may take a few months. Some of our projects may take a year or so, but we will definitely be making sure that it is great for everyone. And basically, like, we want to help everybody's needs when it comes to our products. But other than that, I don't know if Ol Blast has anything to input, but we will be concluding this part about Reload, and then right after this ad break, we will start going over everything we learned this month from E3, all the little information between PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, and PC. Oh, some hardware updates. We'll go over a bit of crypto mining and everything, and how it's going to start affecting the gaming industry here in a little while. But before we get to that, please enjoy this ad break. Hey everybody, welcome back from the ad break. It's all me, Trey. But so let's go ahead and start getting down with all the stuff that's coming out this year and potentially beyond. So we got a little sneak peek of Starfield finally. So there's been a lot of confusion on social media and all that. So a lot of people were tending to believe that the trailer was set in CGI. That wasn't the case. It was actual in-game engine footage, but that doesn't mean that it was in-game gameplay. So potentially that could have just been a cutscene for what all Bethesda and Xbox has shown us. Halo Infinite definitely has this little multiplayer revealed. Story-wise, there's not too much of a difference, but we did get a new look at Cortana 2.0. That's what the new AI has been named. Basically, little spoilers if anybody ain't watched it, but videos have been up for a little while. The original Cortana is quote unquote dead, but the new AI, as you know, it basically looks like Cortana, just different outfit. But AIs will be AIs. But I'll basically start going over more Xbox games are coming out that are like big time. So we actually started getting more information of Elden Ring. We actually got a trailer and everything. I think we mentioned that in the last episode actually. But definitely, people are expecting this to be better than Dark Souls, no doubt better. And from what it even seems like, I'm not too much of a Dark Souls person myself. I do like the universe, the community behind it, and everything, and I do like the arts. I like all that. I'm just not good at the game. But this, the one I've seen in the game, trailers and everything for it, it's definitely something I would definitely grab and try to play. But more on Halo. Going back to Halo real quick. So it showed multiplayer trailer. Definitely some new weapons. They showed a commando again. Definitely graphics definitely look a lot better. I definitely haven't seen anybody doing a zoom in and saying stuff for pixels like there has been for the last two showcases of Halo. But a lot of Halo community is still kind of split. The competitive community as well, because a lot of them are upset that Sprint and everything is still in. People are upset about the grappling hook, but from what we can tell for sure, that was announced is grappling hook and all those other power-ups and abilities. There's also seems to be shield wall you can also set up. They tend to be pickups, and there's apparently like a personal AI that's also going to be introduced in the multiplayer as well. Kind of like Halo 5's Warzone. It seems like the multiplayer is kind of like the lore setting will be like Spartans are in training and stuff, so it's like simulations. It seems like you can definitely find more information out on literally Halo's YouTube channel, their socials and everything. They're continuously posting every day ever since they pretty much showcased at E3. I've been seeing people from 100 Thieves and Cloud9 and everything just they're literally hyped for this game. Ninja's hyped, all these other content creators and everything like Co Carnage and all of them. Everybody's really excited for this game to come out. And don't forget, it will be free to play on both Xbox and PC. You can also get it on Steam, but that's only for the multiplayer. The campaign will be behind a $60 to $70 paywall. I could be wrong about the $70. Don't take my word for that. But I do know that, going back to other episodes, Halo Infinite will definitely be set against the Banish. A lot of people are expecting Flood to be making a return because of Halo Wars 2. But, that's a whole lot of stuff for lore for Halo itself. one big thing, this was shown at the very end of Xbox Showcase, Redfall, a game. So when it comes to exclusives, PlayStation's having an exclusive called Deathloop, which is made by Arcane Studios. Arcane Studios seems to be making an exclusive now for Xbox called Redfall. And basically, from what it seems, one of the characters almost reminded me, no lie, of the Outsider from Dishonored series. But so basically, it seems like it either be a hero shooter. It seems mostly like a hero shooter. But so basically, it's kind of post-apocalyptic vampires. So you got like a few characters and everything. They got all like different types of abilities and everything. So that definitely seems like it'd be very, very fun. Arcane usually makes like very, very good stories and everything as well. I don't think I've ever really been disappointed. If you don't know who Arcane is, remember they had made Prey and Dishonored. But there's sadly no information that was released about Elder Scrolls 6. But I think someone has said something about 2022. They're like a potential release, but me on it being personally, like it's already been 11 years since the last Elder Scrolls came out. But Elder Scrolls Online, they still have stuff every day. Well, I wouldn't say every day, that's my fault. But they just added the new Black Marsh DLC, where it's actually set right before Oblivion. So when it comes to Elder Scrolls Online, there's no telling what they're going to be adding next, because if they're coming to basically setting a stone for right before where Oblivion takes off, who knows what the next content will be. I have a theory that we will be seeing the Great War, as talked in Skyrim, of the Aldemir Dominion versus the Empire, because Skyrim basically takes place right after that war, when the Empire basically got destroyed. Basically, were almost like had the throats cut off right at the Empire City, when the Aldemir Dominion basically had it surrounded and everything. But there's definitely a lot of games, coming out for all platforms. Battlefield 2042. Oh, when they showed that map and it was set in Dubai, that map, that whole gameplay and everything, the plus system is what they called it. So you can basically customize your weapons and everything on the go now. And there's definitely going to be like operator style uh, soldiers and everything. And from what the trailer says, looks like it's going very, very in depth, like name tags, your rank, showing on your soldier and everything. So there's no telling what else. There's actually supposed to be more trailers coming for Battlefield here soon. As of currently, the thing that makes Battlefield 2042 different from the games I mentioned is currently, as of now, it is not day one Game Pass. EA Play most likely, but there's no 100% confirmation. There has been games on from EA themselves that has not been available on day one EA Play or Game Pass. So people to potentially play day one, you may have to officially like pre-order it and buy it. But apparently EA Play is being given early access and everything, but a lot of stuff, a lot of things could change between then and October when the game releases. Also, a big thing: Diablo 2 Resurrected, and the Primeval collection is also coming to Xbox. That's definitely been a big one. Age of Empires 4, a very classic game series, is coming to Xbox. Microsoft Flight Simulator is finally coming to console, but it'd be locked even on the Series S and X to 30 frames, which is, that's kind of bad, in my opinion. Far Cry 6 is rumored to be out on October 7th now, and Back for Blood is rumored to be day one Game Pass and comes out October 12th, so that's still happening this year. Also, another game that was announced for you horror fans out there, the Dark Pictures anthology House of Ashes if you never watched it, if you didn't watch E3, basically this is going to be set with a military unit, and basically while they're over there in the Middle East fighting in the war, they basically come across this tomb, and there's like I will almost say kind of like vampire beings basically are hunting them. I think that would definitely be interesting. Every time Dark Pictures Anthology comes with a new game, it's always been like very, very, very well liked and everything. Shouldn't also forget Forza Horizon 5 comes out November. That was actually a big surprise because we haven't had a Forza Motorsport in a while, by the way, and since 7 and 7 came out. Uh, it's been at least 3 years, I would almost say, since they made a Motorsport, but who knows what's going on with the Motorsport crew and everything, but Horizon 5 will be set in Mexico, and they're definitely adding a lot of details and everything. But that's usually most of the big games for the Xbox side. Uh, but they're definitely like you should definitely go on YouTube and look at the Xbox E3 and Bethesda showcase if you wanted to see like glimpses of all the other games that I may have missed and everything. Raybest, do you want to go over Nintendo's? About time. Don't forget Breath of the Wild Pokemon Edition. Definitely been that game's definitely been bringing a lot of memories. But sadly, the developers still ain't brought that game to Steam. But back to Nintendo. Yeah, Oh yeah, that was definitely a big one. Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. It's kind of a 2D side scroller, was it not? Okay. Yeah, basically, I think it's made by developers of Limbo, but I'm not entirely sure. I I know what you're talking about though. I have the game, but I haven't really touched it much. It is Chernobylite. I've been seeing a lot of mixed reviews of the game, but I haven't personally touched it myself. But from what I've seen, like screenshots and everything, it looks good. But I think I think it should have kept an early access tag from what I comments and everything I have been seeing. I mean, that's technically been happening in a lot of games. To be fair, yeah, yeah. I'll come get a little off topic here, but I definitely want to cover that what you're exactly meaning because I started reading a lot of news like cybersecurity, like programming, app development, and everything just in general. A lot of corporations and everything have got too lazy. Like, especially with the technology we have and everything today, you would expect that all these applications, websites, all these technology would have protection. And I covered some of the stuff in my college this spring semester. Fall semester's coming up soon too, by the way, for you students. But I did an article over hardware, like hardware security, just in general. So this cybersecurity specialist was basically able to turn a whole entire house's lights off and everything just with a radio transmitter. I'm wrong. It was a walkie-talkie. And one of the big things as well is the refrigerators, like those smart refrigerators, your cars and everything, getting all this new type of technology. But these corporations are like literally putting all this stuff aside, like security, proper networking, and everything. That's why like a lot of a lot of games come out, you know, when like I'll bring up Destiny 2 for an example. Whenever a new season comes out or DLC comes out, you can't even log into the servers for hours. So you kind of would expect at this point maybe they could have fixed something, maybe they could have something, kind of mitigated just a little bit. But, a lot of companies are not like literally focused on that. But, I did mention it before, Sony and Microsoft has actually been working on the security. They've been, patching up a lot of like exploits and everything, especially like through sniffing, which has been a really, really good thing because that's what was one of the issues that started plaguing Rainbow Six Siege. And apparently it's starting to plague Apex, but EA, I do kind of know EA tends to have a big cannon, like basically breaking down on stuff like that as well. And that's why also like when you look at Tencent, like Rockstar Games and um a bunch of other games as well. I looked at some stuff for GTA and Red Dead Redemption 2 on PC, and it's literally easy to download software like just cheating software itself, and not you don't even get banned for it. Like that's basically like the biggest things like hacking and like exploiting is basically like not the good kind, the bad kind is basically like getting too prominent in the game industry now, and a lot of these corporations like it's not even just the game industry, it's pretty much everywhere, starting to get everywhere, and it's starting to affect like politics and everything as well. But it's definitely an eye opener when you kind of read into stuff like that, because even like a lot of like cybersecurity analysts and like seniors and all that are literally saying all these companies and everything are literally at fault for it because they don't focus on what's important. They just focus on what's fast. They don't like when you have all these programmers, like programmer ain't going to know how to hack or network or servers or any of that stuff. Mostly a programmer just puts something and then you're supposed to have quality control also look over it. But what a lot of these companies do, they tend to try to make a programmer be able to do that and do quality control. Like they'll have one that does quality control over this specific part of an application, but not over the whole application. You get what I'm meaning? Yeah, yeah, and it's definitely been one of the very big reasons. And I think within the past decade, this decade's been kind of a big time because of issues like that. But kind of go back to what we were kind of discussing about good new games and everything coming out. I'll go ahead and actually start going over PlayStation a little bit. So, PlayStation didn't have a conference at E3 or anything like that, but I do have some news for them. They have started acquiring news studios like Nix's software. There's actually a big thing, the director's cut coming to Ghost of Tsushima, which basically adds like a whole story expansion to the game. And they basically acquired the developers of Returnal, which is a PlayStation exclusive as well. But you got Xbox and Nintendo making moves, but PlayStation, even though they weren't not at E3, they've been trying to make moves as well. But I'll go over some Pass news, by the way. Actually, been playing console a little bit more than usual. So, Sea of Thieves actually had a new content update. Pirates of the Caribbean has came to Sea of Thieves, and I've been enjoying it. Really enjoying it. I have not, as of currently, as of today, I only done 3 out of the 5 tall tales that it came with, but the tall tales actually last a while, and there's so much that goes on, so much story and everything. But they also started adding like more events and everything. We finally got to do one of the new events, which is basically like a school fort, but it's like instead of one pirate lord, you have 3, and then you have one ashen lord, which is like a pirate lord times 2. I'm also getting much more closer to Pirate Lich, and now thanks to this. But yeah, I've definitely been enjoying Sea of Thieves a lot. You know, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered has came to Game Pass. For Honor has came to Game Pass now. There's definitely a lot of new games like The Ascent, which is like a little cyberpunk game, is coming out, and it's going to be coming to Game Pass as well. Speaking of Game Pass, so for you personally, what's been a game like for the Xbox Game Pass on PC? For you personally, what's been like some games that's been an eye opener for you, and some that are surprising? Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah. Yeah, I actually started noticing a lot that, especially a lot of those games that are coming not only to Windows, but because it's also coming to Windows, Steam, platforms like Steam and Epic's been able to have crossplay much easier on games like that. Chivalry 2, I mean, it's not a Game Pass game, which I believe it should be. I started
Hmm.
playing that game, and like even though it's crossplay, controller versus uh mouse and keyboard, people have a distaste for that. I still find the game like really really fun. Especially when you're a Vanguard and you're on the team of Gotha and you're just dressed like a crusader. And the irony is, I have a Viking Danish axe, and I'm sitting there just swinging it around. That game's definitely been very, very fun. But that's it. I definitely kind of like starting to see like Xbox community itself just like thriving because of Game Pass now, and like it's starting to bring the PC and Xbox community together mostly. Like Xbox, like Master Chief Collections, like the chatter and everything has been more active now, especially since the crossplay came out. But there's definitely like been a lot of positive things that has been happening lately. But for going back to PlayStation, as of currently, I mean, no one really has any idea what Sony's wanting to do with PS now. I believe they should go back to the all classic games, even the franchises that are discontinued, like Resistance and Killzone, and basically like make sure to add all the gains to it and all that. Um, but PS Now definitely, you can still kind of play it through internet access without having to download it through PlayStation and PC. But Xbox is getting to the point with theirs, like with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, you basically have access to xCloud that way, and it's getting to the point like there has been a official confirmation that if you have an Xbox One, just the original Xbox One, you can play an Xbox Series S and X exclusive games through the xCloud on a web browser. So it's definitely getting interesting with how most of this softwares and stuff are becoming now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Imagine just how it'd be from 10 years from now. To be fair,
Honestly, you've seen like how much tech and stuff has changed within these past 10 years. I'm just excited to see. Really, who knows? Maybe full dive tech will be a real thing, and we don't have to worry about.
can't ever forget. There was actual rumors going around that Xbox wanted to put the Game Pass on PlayStation.
the the irony. That'll be amazing.
Mm-hmm. Actually heard rumors coming soon that Microsoft is basically trying to make a VR compatible application, so that could be something soon. I definitely have been seeing some questionable stuff on the Microsoft Windows Store.
Hell?
Hmm. But you know, but you also got to know not everything that's also coming good is not all like there's always going to be stuff that are good, but there's always going to be bad. As of currently on to July 1st, 2021, Microsoft has lost $10 million worth of Xbox gift cards in an online scheme.
Oof.
Which, speaking of which, we have also heard news and reports of issues going on in FaZe Clan of crypto scamming. So, as we're going to actually start going over crypto mine here in a little bit. Definitely try to do research on when you do like investments, especially because because one of the biggest things about cryptography and all that is it's not uh it's not all secured completely. Like a lot of people's been like making up like fake coins and everything and literally scamming. And because cryptocurrency is not well regulated, people are not like they can't even go to jail because it's not because of that. But I know when it comes to politics and everything, they're currently trying to make a way to regulate it and put taxes on it. But you know, people kind of live and let learn. There's always going to be a way to people that like they're always going to try to find a way to exploit other people and everything. And then software is made by man, and anything made by man could be exploited.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually going back to cryptocurrency and mining. So we all know basically like crypto itself has started kind of taking a downturn lately, which don't give up hope for all you people that's holding and everything. China basically started downgrading like all types of crypto, especially Bitcoin. And one of the biggest things is they're shutting down crypto miners that's over in China, but there's a rumor going around that all those crypto miners are literally just packing up and going to other countries. So potentially in the future, you'll probably see like crypto mining shooting right back up again. And thanks to Nvidia, they also have started making GPUs that has made crypto mining more efficiency, and they don't have to use game GPUs. So with this coming out and everything, there's a potential chance that graphics cards will finally start lowering back to their original prices.
That would be amazing if that actually happened.
Yeah,
It's
I was actually
crazy.
lucky. I was actually lucky. My RTX 2080 Super was 700 when I built my PC. I checked the price and it shot up to 1400, and that was just a few months ago. I hate to see what it is now.
Crazy.
Actually,
Mhm.
go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, I was looking at my card, and I bought this card like 3 years ago now. I bought it like around like 500, right after the Bitcoin kind of burst back then. And I checked it recently. It's well over 1,000. It's not even that like new either.
Yeah, it's crazy, ain't it?
Hmm.
Oh, and speaking of which, Windows 11 has started getting leaked, and there's also an issue now when it comes to motherboards because I didn't really remember the details too much. It's like TPM 2.0, and if you do not support if your stuff does not support direct uh X12, it's not compatible either.
Ayo?
Yeah. So Windows 11 is rumored to be coming out actually this year. It's technically it's already been kind of leaked and everything. It seemed someone said it quote unquote it's starting to basically kind of come closer to Linux, and they are removing unneeded apps by Skype.
Yes.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of ads they just put on your computer just for no reason. You already know you ain't gonna use it, but they said no, you gotta have it. But who knows? Windows 11 may be a turning point for like operating systems. I do know that a lot of operating systems out there will have to change to be compatible with Windows now. But things are actually starting to turn for the better now. Basically the COVID depression is what I kind of nickname it. Game developers, these companies, so like gaming influencers, and all these other orgs, people have been around, streamers and everything. It's all starting to lift up eventually now because I've seen people that's not like that were streaming, like especially during COVID. Like, and then you get like midway through, and you just see like a whole big bunch of people to just stop streaming because they got depressed.
Really?
It just hits people. But now it's actually starting to change, starting to get a lot better for everybody. Every places are finally opening up. I definitely know my state's been open since like April. Took some time to actually adjust. Like I still kind of keep my mask with me everywhere, but just there to have it. But employee people that work still have to wear theirs and everything. So who knows how long that's going to efficiently last. But but yeah, habits are basically going back to normal. There may still be a lot of different changes and everything, so we'll eventually find out. But I definitely know, like when it comes to like game development now, a lot of players have, especially like mostly casuals and sometimes hardcore, will even say it too. Is like gaming is not like starting to feel like jobs in video games. And I definitely want to give a shout out to some companies out there that don't make their battle pass or their leveling system literally god awful hard, because there's some games out there Call of Duty they just literally like you sit there and could play all night, but you potentially could only like level up one time. It's almost ridiculous sometimes, and they'll have that battle pass only for like 2 months. Which honestly, in my opinion, is kind of ridiculous for a short period of a battle pass that takes a long time to level up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But that's just how it be sometimes. But I mean, I'm kind of just going everywhere, so I'll let you take it over a little bit, Ray Blast.
So as things go on the year and such, I think one thing we gotta talk about is just how much has changed. I think we're past like the half year mark, and honestly, 2021 has been a crazy year. It feels like just yesterday was January, doesn't it? That
Yeah, it
has
kind of does.
that probably has to do with the fact that some of us are still quarantined. Some of us just it just haven't had much going on. They just seem to be blending in with each other. But just in the couple last months, we saw the rise of cryptocurrency, the fall, and then the rise again, and like the falls, all those fluctuations, the stock market going crazy, and all that stuff. We hear a lot of game dev news, all new games coming out, anticipated games. Doki Doki Literature Club Plus came out. Everyone's crazy about that. Let's go. It's hype. you know, um, just Monica. So it's nice to see that even when bad things are happening, in life and stuff, and there's a lot of things that have been changing, sometimes for the better. We're finally getting patches for Cyberpunk and stuff, and it's just we got here. There's always something to look forward to, and I just want to just remind y'all, mental health check if you would, that you're strong. We got this far. We can keep continuing forward. Yes, got this. I believe in you. I believe y'all. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of changes here soon, and honestly, I'm just excited to see what goes down, what's going to happen, and what else can be achieved in the next 6 months before the end of 2021. And there's already a lot of hype for stuff coming 2022. So we'll see. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like actually, last I heard for Cyberpunk, its levels are finally satisfactory according to one of its head developers.
Let's go.
But it's also because of AWS, Amazon Web Services. Uh, actually, one because of the pandemic and everything, one of the game development is actually one of the jobs that is most likely going to be continued at home, you
Hmm.
could say.
Okay.
But we'll just have to see how that will work. I mean, it's potential because cloud services and everything are starting to become a very, very big deal now. But I'm starting, kind of like how we were doing. I mean, granted, we ain't got our games out yet, but I'm starting to see like a lot of game studios starting to run like competitions for their players and everything now.
Oh.
Starting to see that a lot and a lot more. But I mean, there's a lot that's still happening today and all that. I mean, we could be having even currently with this episode, there could be potentially like behind the scenes us like a studios who's got like a bright idea and they're gonna start developing this type of game, and that game could potentially be like uh game of the year next year. It could be game of the year 2022. It could just something like that. Some games probably take about 5-6 years in total just to develop. Mm. But I think we kind of went over a little bit of everything, but so let's go just kind of just a little chatter. So have you noticed all those battle royales that came out alongside Warzone, Apex, and Fortnite? Let me give you some examples: Hyperscape, Islands of Nine, and a lot of games like that. Is it me, or were those games kind of like they were just around for 2 weeks and then just poof gone? Player base is no longer there.
It does kind of feel like that, huh? But yeah, like I feel like the problem was mostly the oversaturation of the market, especially when you're trying to compete against like super big titles from like pretty big companies. Respawn, Call of Duty and Activision itself. Then you have the already pre-existing titans Fortnite and PUBG, which ironically enough is still a super powerhouse in the battle royale scene. And then other up and
Oh yeah.
coming battle royales, indies, one-offs, The Calling, if you remember that. That's such a shit story. Um, but yeah, there's such a I think overinflation of the thing. I guess sometimes lack of advertisement or like incentive kind of drives people away over time.
Yeah. I think the only other games that are like, that came out too, but they're not as popular, uh, Spellbreak
Hmm.
and Super Animal Royale. I think those two games are definitely like, just they're kind of still out there, but they're not like popular.
Yeah, they're not as popular
Mhm.
as they could be per se.
Oh yeah. I also I was going through Facebook today actually, and so you remember World War III, the video game
Yeah.
that came on Steam? You remember how they were calling it the Battlefield Killer?
Yeah.
I checked today I was scrolling on Facebook, so I was looking at Gamer Rants, and they posted a video showcasing it.
Hmm.
And ironically enough, they posted this video, if I'm not mistaken, a year ago. And I went in there, put a comment from Steam charts, a screenshot, and I put in the biggest thing you saw was 8 players are playing this game right now,
Oh.
and that was it.
Oh.
Like I looked at the Steam charts and the stats and everything. That game has not hit like 100 people concurrently since like 2019.
Oof.
Yeah, I just looked at it and I was just kind of laughing. I never played it yet. I bought it right before it kind of fell out completely. But it just be like that.
Yeah, really.
Mhm. But speaking of which, I want to kind of give a shout out to a few companies out there. CyberSmart VPN. I'll go ahead and tell you, all the old guys got something going on, transitioning to a lot better servers and protection and everything. So we'll be the UI and everything and the interface will definitely be changing. And if y'all are interested, I'll go ahead and list the prices out now. $5 a week trial, $10 a month, and $25 for 3 months, and then it's only $100 just for a lifetime. And it is DDoS protected, and your information is not leaked or logged. For those that are interested, please just join the Discord and hit me up. I'll also leave a comment on our YouTube channel as well about it. And we have recently started a partnership with ABK Customs. If you don't know who they definitely are a good place if you want to look for a computer and want to build a custom one. They literally you'll buy the custom parts and everything, they'll build it for you, and then you can use our code basically res 100, and kind of help us support res and everything. And it's also a lot cheaper than you would get from sites like Amazon, Newegg, and everything, because most sites like that, they tend to take an extra $400 on average from custom PCs just for profits. But I definitely will check them out. Their website link is abk-k as in the letter K customs.com. But other than that, I am good to go. You got anything else before we head off, Ol Braulio?
Um, Nothing much. I guess just like I said at the beginning of the podcast. Make sure to check out the socials where we're posting more stuff dev related and such. And definitely keep an eye out on future episodes and stuff.
All right, yep, that's definitely it. We're still gonna be doing our episodes monthly and everything. That's no doubt. Um, right now, currently, I'm very anticipated for Battlefield and Halo personally. Uh, Actually, I also don't want to forget Dying Light 2 is rumored to be out this year, by the way. I know Techland's been kind of going through a lot, but that's just how it be. I don't want to forget that because I know we went over that game the last few episodes. But I appreciate everyone that has came to listen and everything, and y'all have a great one.